Welcome to the Writer Groupie Podcast. I'm Kim Smith, the writing guru, bringing you discussions, insights, and insider details on planning, producing, promoting, and profiting as a writer. This is a podcast by writers for writers. You can find out more about Writer Groupie at www.kimsmithauthor.com. And here's the next episode of Writer Groupie. Okay, we're here today with Margaret and Kat King, the King twins in their full regalia. Ladies, welcome to Writer Groupie.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here.
We are. We're excited about this.
I'm excited to have you. You guys come with a lot of recommendations, I guess is the word I want to use. My daughter has been a student down at Oxford for a long time. Now she works for the university, and she even knows about y'all. She used to work at Square Books, and she knows about y'all. She said y'all were in there signing books one time. And so y'all are famous in my book. You're my famous.
Well, we're semi-famous locally.
And so when I have you on the show, it just makes me so excited. You've come all dressed up. You're the King twins, and I understand you're rappers.
Y'all we are King twin rappers.
Tell me about that. That's very interesting.
Well, Kat is very interesting. She came up with this idea of rapping in order to market our books, because it's easy to write a book, but it's very difficult to market a book. Why shouldn't everybody go out and buy our books? They're funny. But how do you get that across to the readers? So Kat came up with this idea
of rapping, and we can't carry a tune, so we couldn't sing our way through it. So the only thing we could do is rap. So we've written about 25 raps, and they're all original, and they're usually funny, and we've had a good time with it. And once we entertain people with our rapping, they generally will buy a book from us.
Actually, they want our CDs. Tool.
Well, they want our CDs as much as our books now. Where can I buy your CD of raps? And so we're going to Nashville in a week or two, and we're going to record our raps. So we'll have them available for sale as well. We're so excited about that. Usually when you go to Nashville, you can sing. And we're just going up there to act silly and have fun, which we do a lot of.
Well, you know, I'm so excited because the three of us are going to be at the Author Rodeo Roundup in Senatobia, Mississippi on March the 28th, which is just a little over a month from now. And so we all get to be together in person, which is just thrilling me to death. And so what I want to know is, are you going to be doing rapping at the Author Rodeo Roundup?
And why not?
We will be rapping.
I'm so excited.
We love being there last year. We got to meet authors that have become friends, close friends of ours, Merle Temple and Patricia Neely Dorsey, and of course we knew Julie Cantrell and Arthur Avant, and we've just had so much fun being friends with them on many different levels, not just Facebook and the social media, but everywhere we go. We just love being friends with them. We can't wait to meet more authors on the 28th of March. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, it is, and I'm just delighted to have you ladies on my show, especially today being Valentine's Day. Everybody that's watching and listening, we're recording this Valentine's afternoon, and these ladies are dressed up in their beautiful red and their crowns, and I want to know, because it is Writer Groupie, I want to know the history of your writing journey. How did y'all get started on this journey of writing books?
Well, we told these stories to our children as they were growing up for years and years and years and years. And so they said, "Moms, write your stories down." I think they thought we were going to kick the bucket pretty soon, you know. So we said, okay, we'll write them down. And we did. And they were hilarious. It was tragic to us at the time, but hilarious to us now with, 50 years in between. And so we just have written them down, and we've just loved it. And the kids love it, and they want to read it to their children and their grandchildren. So we feel like we've done what they've asked, and we've preserved our history. You know, everybody has a story inside them.
That's right.
And this is our story.
That's awesome.
So that's how we did it.
And I got this cover. Your first book is called Y'all Twins? And I'll bet you people say that to you all the time. Y'all twins?
That's the first question, no matter how we look, whether we're dressed alike or not. The heads go this way and that. They're looking at us, and then they say, "Y'all twins." And then, after that question, comes our next question, which is the title of our second book. And it's, which is which? So, do you know which is which today?
I do. I have it written down in front of me. I did this.
That...
I did this so I could keep track of which one was which. Okay, so you started out writing your stories down just for your children mainly because it's almost like a memoir because it's taken kind of ripped from the pages of your own lives, and you've done it together. So what's it like to collaborate with one another? Who is either one of you more the writer and the other one the editor, or is it just all equal?
We sat down, every time we wrote a word, we sat down together. But I'm Kat, and I always tell people I'm the good twin. But once you read the book, you pretty much know that that's not the truth. But Margaret I would say, well, Margaret, here's how it happened. And then she would say,
well, it didn't exactly happen that way. Here's how it really happened. And Kat's always surprised that I know how it really happened. She always wants to make it come out into her best light, you know, because she was the real rascal. Lucy and Ethel. And what Lucy got us into, Ethel had to get us out of. And
at the end of the day, we got a whipping every single night.
Mother knew we did something wrong. And we did.
Did y'all get in trouble in school a lot? And while I'm asking, did you get to stay in the same class throughout school? Because a lot of kids that I've heard about that were twins were separated because they did not want to have to deal with that whole sameness.
Well, we were together every day of our lives until the first day of first grade. And our parents decided to put us into two separate classrooms. But that's the only year they did that. I don't know why they changed their mind, but every year after that, we were in the same classroom as far as teachers go.
And we switched classes the first day of first grade because we wanted to see what each other's classroom was like. And the teacher, of course, never knew.
Of course
Kat
not.
didn't want to stay in my classroom because I was middle row, front and center. And in her classroom, she was in the middle, but she was about 5 rows back. And she much preferred that. So she didn't go back to my classroom.
Wow. I just wonder how many twins trick their teachers and their twin actually goes to class and the teacher's not any more the wiser because identical twins are just exactly that.
God's given us this gift of identical. And if you don't try the tricks, you're just missing out on a whole lot of fun things. How many people who are not a twin would say, I wish I had a twin because we could switch places and we could do this and that.
That's the truth.
Margaret and I actually practice what we preach.
That is the truth. I think I've heard that before, that people, say, you're missing out on an experience that you're only going to have because you're a twin. So that would just be, I would just love to be a fly on the wall when y'all were in school. I bet it was just too fun. So tell us about your books. Tell us about Y'all Twins and Which is Which and how they came to be and where we can find them and all that good stuff.
Okay, Y'all Twins came to be because everybody wanted us to talk about, our experiences and put them in writing. William Faulkner is in 2 stories in Y'all Twins and 2 stories in Which is Which because we grew up right around the corner from him. And he seemed to really enjoy the game of which is which with us. and he always got it right. And finally, we figured out that he knew our personalities. He couldn't tell us apart physically, but he knew if he could get one of us talking, it was Kat. And he could tell our personalities apart. He was a smart man. William Faulkner, we figured out, liked animals and children, but he didn't like adults delving into his life.
Yeah.
So we figured that's why he liked us so much.
How interesting that you have an experience with William Faulkner. People that are going to listen to this video and view it are going to be going,
We were
wow,
just
they really knew him?
7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So we were children, and he had already gotten his awards and this, that. We didn't have a clue who he was. He was just the man with the mule and buggy around the corner of the house.
And we used to steal a ride on his buggy, and we didn't have a clue who he was. The fact that Daddy told us he was William Faulkner didn't mean anything to us. He was just our nice neighbor.
And
So,
now
but it is
looking
kind of
back,
neat, isn't it?
how do you feel?
Oh, it was a gift. Who can say that? You know,
Exactly.
It was wonderful.
I'm impressed. I wish I could say that. All I can say is, I was only a couple hours up the road from him. I want to know more about the Author Rodeo Roundup. What can we expect when we get there? This is really exciting for me. This is my
the
first
third book?
go-round. Can you hear me?
Okay, now.
We can now.
I said I'm really excited about it, and I wanted to find out, more about the Author Rodeo Roundup and what to expect, because this is my first go-round.
Oh, you're going to love it. This is a great opportunity for authors to interact with each other, but it's also a wonderful opportunity for the public to come in and get signed books by authors. And a lot of them are probably first edition books. And you never know when an author is going to hit it big time, because I think Merle Temple has hit it big time.
He has.
And in Hollywood,
They're making a movie of his.
the first of the trilogy is being made into a movie. And so you just never know when you walk in and you meet an author who you're meeting. And it's just great opportunity for the public. And it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us authors to meet each other and interact. And what's working for you? Well, I hadn't tried that. What's working for you in marketing?
Yes,
So
that's really
everybody's
exciting.
going to be wanting to be rappers, but, it works for us.
And that whole I'm a rapper, the first time I ever met you guys, it was like, we're the King rappers, that's K rappers. And I was just cracking up. It was just such a hoot. So y'all want to do a rap? I'd love for you to do a rap.
All right, we'll introduce ourselves, and then we'll go into the Valentine's rap.
Okay. Yay.
Because Valentine's Day is already here.
So, hit it. We are the King Twin Rappers. K-Rappers for short. That's K-R-A-P-P-E-R-S.
And that spells?
K-rappers.
K-Rappers. Hit it. Valentine's Day is already here. Wondering what to give your sweetie this year?
We've got some suggestions, so we'll make them clear.
Don't give her an iron or pots and pans.
You got to do better, so adjust your plans.
If you don't want the iron imprinted on your face,
Go out and buy her some pretty lace.
wine her and dine her and bring her some flowers.
Or a day at the spa, relaxing for hours.
Perhaps some pretty jewelry with lots and lots of blings.
A necklace or bracelet or maybe even a ring.
Okay, girls, let's think of him.
If he needs toning up, a gift card to the gym.
Or a trip to the local hardware store.
For some tiles and tools for your brand new floor.
Then you can relax with some gifts to share.
The books by the King twins or a chocolate eclair.
Oh, yummy.
We hope these tips
have helped you in some way.
I know what I'm doing, sister. What do you say?
I wonder what Terry Bradshaw's doing Valentine's Day.
Terry Bradshaw? I didn't know you liked Terry Bradshaw. Well, I like Terry Bradshaw too. That's a wrap. Love y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. That was precious. I just love that. I just know my viewers and my listeners are just going to have more fun with you ladies.
Something popped up here and I just got distracted. So, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I thought it was precious. Y'all did a great job. So, we write, I write as a writer kind of alone. It's an individual, solitary kind of experience, but you two are lucky enough to have each other to bounce ideas off of and to say, yes, that can go in the book, or no, that can't go in the book. And what I want to hear is your best advice for aspiring authors who may not be as fortunate as you and have someone to bounce their ideas off. They want to know what you know that's good for them.
Well, it is a wonderful opportunity to have someone to bounce your ideas off of, because the stories that we have, we either say yes or no, and Kat says, let's don't do that one, let's do something else. But I think everybody has a story inside themselves, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Most people want to write something down and become an author. And when you get that first book in your hands and you realize you are a published author, it's the most thrilling accomplishment ever.
It is.
But I just think that if you want to write, get with some authors. And we've had people contact us and say, would you just read my work? Would you just read an excerpt? Tell me what you think. Give me some advice. And we have done that. And we enjoy doing that part of it. That's the one way that we as authors can give back and hope that other authors can spring up and become very successful as well. But don't ever be afraid to write. Put your thoughts in writing. You never know where it's going to take you. It could take you on an adventure, or it could take you down memory lane. So just go for it. That's what I say. That's what we did.
That's just priceless. It really is. And I'd just like to add, and I think I've said this before, that authors today seem like they're awfully focused on the cash aspect of it. They think that there's money to be made at it, and I'm sure that there are authors out there making a living at writing, but I don't do that. I don't do it for that. I write for fun. I do it because I enjoy writing. I do it to entertain myself first, and I feel like if I entertain myself, then I'm probably going to entertain somebody else. And when I get finished and I turn it into an entertaining story, then maybe it'll go out into the public. And
that's how we felt, especially about the third book that we wrote, Our Josephine. I mean, that one kind of grabs you and it tells a story, and it's something that we want everyone to read and to get to know who Josephine is.
We were 9 years old and Josephine was 16 in Vicksburg, Mississippi in 1957 when we went to visit our grandmother and 88-year-old great-grandmother. And she was a caretaker for 2 hours a day for our great-grandmother. And Josephine was the first African-American we ever had as a friend.
1957 was the pre-civil rights era, where the races were separate but equal. But we soon found out as 9-year-olds that they were separate, all right, but it was not equal. And Josephine taught us so many lessons about the inequalities of the time and the respect that one person has for another, regardless of skin color.
And as the week went on, Josephine told us stories about her life, and we soon realized how different her life was from our life. And she knew what was going on in the world around her, but we were 9-year-old innocent little white girls and had no idea what was going on. So the things that we could do, Josephine couldn't even walk beside us on the sidewalk. That's the front cover of our book. She's walking behind us.
Wow.
And she was not going to get in trouble for 2 little white girls. And she would have gotten in trouble if she had walked with us. And how wonderful is it that the times have changed?
Oh, yeah.
And that equality means something today.
Indeed.
And that's the way we feel. Josephine's still alive. She's 74 years old, and she lives in the same part of Vicksburg where she grew up. We said, Josephine, now when our Josephine becomes a movie, a blockbuster movie, and a bestseller, what do you want? And she took us outside and pointed to the lot next door, and she said, all I want is a 2-bedroom house so I can live by myself.
And that is now our mission and our passion, is to get ourselves beyond the boundaries of Mississippi onto the national scene so that we can get that house built for Josephine.
How wonderful. You two ladies are just amazing. Is there anything that you are not involved in? I mean, you rap, you write.
We just want everybody to know, if there's anyone out there listening that can get this book turned into a movie, we want to talk to you.
Absolutely.
So just find a way to contact us. And as a matter of fact, you asked how to contact us. You can go to our website, www.y'alltwins.com, leave the apostrophe out, and you can get our books there and through Amazon, Indeed Publishing, and of course Square Books has them, and some Southern Stories has them as well, southernstories.com.
We have most of them.
We do. So you can contact us directly, and we'll sign off on them and send them.
Well, everybody remember that these fine ladies are going to be at the Author Rodeo Roundup at Northwest Community College in Senatobia, Mississippi. We'll all be at the library, and we'll be entertaining you. We'll be regaling you with stories and raps and all kinds of fine things. So be sure to make your plans to come out to the Author Rodeo Roundup at NWCC. Guys, I am so tickled to have you on my show. I've just enjoyed it so much.
You so much.
And I just can't wait to get together in person. Maybe y'all can teach me how to rap.
You can be our triplet. How about that?
We're looking for a triplet, so we'll let you interview with us.
I'll certainly interview with you. We're just going to have to sit down and work something up.
I know. If you can point, you can probably join us.
Okay, well, maybe you can teach me how to point right.
We just don't want you to do a gang symbol.
Yeah, and that's probably what would happen. I would do something
ganglish. We don't know what they are.
I would do something gangly. Well, ladies, I will let you go back to your Valentine afternoon, but I did enjoy speaking with y'all, and I'm excited to meet with you in person when the time comes, and I look forward to you coming back on the show, because I know this is not going to be the end of what all y'all are going to come out of your bag.
We've got children's books coming along at 3 this year, so we hope to come back on your show.
Oh, well, I want for you too. That would be magnificent. I would love to have some children's authors come on my show. So, y'all come back.
Thank you so much for having us. We so appreciate it.
We've enjoyed it.
And I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. And thank you for my rap, my Valentine's rap. Now I can go tell everybody I got my Valentine's rap today.
You just got to see it live.
Yes.
We'll do one for you live in a month or so.
Fabulous. All right, ladies, hang in there. I'll be seeing you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Writer Groupie. For booking information, show notes, and more, visit KimSmithAuthor.com.